Hey guys, this is a new series that I want to try out for the channel where I review different PC components. For this video, it's going to be a PC case by Raidmax. It's called the Delta I, or Delta 1, whatever you want to call it. They were nice enough to send me a free case so that I could review it, and that's what I'm doing right now. So to start it off, I'll be showing you what the box looks like and how the case looks like when you take it out of the box. It's a pretty standard box that a case would come in. It has measurements of the hard drive bays and stuff like that. There's not much to it, so let's just take the case out and see what it looks like. So taking it out of the box, as you can see, the sides have protecting styrofoam, and also it's covered in plastic like a regular case would be, just to protect it during shipment. So looking at the case from head on, the front bezel is actually a glossy black finish, and this case actually comes in three colors. Black, which is this one, orange, and blue, which you can see on the screen. Now the front bezel is actually removable, so if you want to clean it, it's really easy to do. You can also remove the dust filter that's behind it, just in case you have case fans for the front. The front of the case is mostly meant for 360mm water cooling systems, but it's completely fine if you fill it up with 120mm fans instead. On the back, you have your opening for a I/O shield, and also a opening for a 120mm fan. I'm actually using the radiator and fan combo for my water cooling. There's a ton of openings if you have SLI cards or 3-way SLI and you're running a sound card. There's a lot of spots for that and you have enough room. And there's also finally the spot for the power supply. Looking at one side of it, this side is actually a nice black finish. It's not glossy like the front of it, so it won't attract fingerprints as easily. All the covers on this case are attached by thumb screws, so they're really easy to remove if you need them, and they're really easy to put back on. Moving on to the top of the case, this is where the magnetic dust filter is. Since it's magnetic, that means it's really easy to remove and clean, and there's no need to take off any of the covers to do so. And of course, the top is also where the buttons are, which include the power button, reset button, hard drive LED, headphone and microphone jack, and then two USB 3.0 ports. The third and last side is a full window cover so you can admire the inside of your PC. I really like cases that have windows on one of the covers, so I'm glad they included it with this one. Moving on to the bottom, you have a spot for your power supply, and also a hard drive bay that would fit two mechanical hard drives. I wish there was a little bit more room down here, but it should be fine for most people. I personally struggled to fit all the cords that I had, but I did get it done in the end. Although as you can see, it is really messy. Moving on to the dimensions of this case, the height is 18.50 inches, the length is 18 inches, and finally the width is 8.50 inches. The case comes pre-packed with the user manual, Velcro cable ties, and a packet of screws. Now I didn't realize it at first, but it actually comes with 4 Velcro ties. I like these a lot better than your traditional cable ties because you don't actually need scissors to take them off. This is what the case looks like after the PC has been fully built. As you can see, there's plenty of room left over in the front, so there's a lot of places you can fit case fans. Now I wasn't able to use the SSD bays because it was just too crowded in the power supply area, but if you have a smaller PSU, then these can actually be pretty helpful. I was able to fit two 120mm case fans at the top, and you could probably fit 3 if you wanted to, but I wasn't able to because I have a radiator that takes up a good amount of space. And if you're wondering what the model of these fans are, I actually have a link to them in the description. My overall verdict of this case is that it's well worth the $60 price tag. I've broken the points down into pros and cons, and I'm going to go through each of them. So the first positive thing about this is that it has a lot of space. I like that after you build the PC, there's still a lot of room in the front and you could fit a lot of case fans. This brings me to my next point, which is that there's a lot of space to fit fans in. I personally have about 5 or 6 case fans, and if I wanted to put them in, I could, and I like that I could do that. My third point is that I like the really simplistic design of the case. If you go on Newegg, you can see a lot of cases that have LEDs everywhere on them, and they just look crazy. But with this case, it's just a nice black design, and there's no LEDs on it unless you add them yourself. Another thing is the magnetic dust filter. A lot of cases are starting to use these, and I really like it. It makes cleaning the dust off your PC less of a chore. The next thing is the cable management. This case has great cable management because it has a dedicated slot for the power supply. This means that the cables will be out of sight and you won't have to look at them because they're in the back. This brings me to my final positive point, which is the low price. This case is $60 on Newegg with, I believe, $6 shipping, which is completely reasonable for a case this size. Going on to the cons, I don't have many, so this will go by quickly. The first thing is the placement of the hard drive and solid state drive bays. The hard drive bays aren't too bad, but the solid state drive bays are just out of the way and it doesn't make sense where they are. With a power supply of my size, the cords just don't reach the hole that they're supposed to go through to connect to the solid state drives. The final negative thing about this case is that the power supply area is just way too small. I'm all for having a compartment for a power supply, I actually love that, but it has to be a decent size. Now you can remove the hard drive bay to fit the bigger power supply, but I like having the hard drive bay just to keep everything organized. In the end, I feel like this case is well worth the price. It's great for anyone that's looking for a budget case that has a very big size, and it's great for water cooling as well. So if you want to check out this case, I have a Newegg link in the description, and I also have a link to the case fans. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys liked it, please leave some feedback in the comments. This is obviously my first review, and I have to get better at them. So yeah. I also want to say that these won't be replacing the benchmarks. I'm still a benchmark focused channel, and I just want something to do on the side. Anyway, I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.